Tangle. 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 Yeah. Oh yeah, Mario time! Tangle! Tangle. Oh yeah, Mario time. Tangle. This way. Let's go. Huh.